Why don't most people do that? Why don't most people have proper insurance and
most
invest?
people don't know. They're not educated. They're not.
Hold on. I would say you have to invest into something because I'm still working. I've been at my job for it'll be 18. Ooh, I was just told, hey, you gotta work hard, save up, go to school, and you'll be set. And I'm like, bro, I'm broke as hell.
That's because our generation was not taught what we were supposed to do with a 401k or with our Roth IRA. People need to see that a lot of people in their 50s and 60s right now, their 401k plans are like drained. They don't even have money to even live on, which is where, like, for an average 19-year-old right now, though, if they were to invest into an IRA now, they'll be a millionaire by the time they're 30, 35.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that we were not taught. That is one thing that's the biggest thing. We were not taught that. I wasn't taught, we put it in a savings account. The savings account gains 1 cent. The bank is not in it for us. You know,
it's money, thanks.
That's the biggest thing. The bank's never been in it for us. So our thing is to be educated, to know how to take those steps to get to what we want or where we need to go. And that's the biggest thing on people who invest into different things. You know, stocks, they go up and down. Mutual funds have been here for a very, very long time, and they do fluctuate, but they've never gone out of business. So investing into an IRA, a Roth, those type of things are good for people. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck in these things that have like the old.
You can't have all your eggs in one basket, right? And again, you know, you're right. Education is the first step, but you have to apply it. But like she said, a lot of people just don't know. They don't have the education, so they don't even have the chance to apply it. And we're talking good people who have discipline. They just don't have the knowledge. Now, if you were to give a blanket, just everybody, boom, like a download, everybody has the knowledge now. Everybody still wouldn't be successful because the people don't have the discipline. Yes, correct.
It's hot water. No, it's actually warm.
Yeah.
You know.
But but it does start. It does start with education. And here's one thing that I always tell my son, my eldest, who's about to graduate, college next week. He's going into biotech and stuff. And one thing that I learned a long time ago is, people love to talk about what they're passionate about and what they know. So if somebody wants to learn about a podcast, if somebody just that has never done it before was to ask you, hey man, how do I start a podcast? Would it be a chore for you to sit down and tell them what you've learned? No, we love to talk about what we know. If somebody just asks you about investments, it's no sweat off your back, especially if it's a young person. We tend to, like, our heart belongs to young people. It's in our DNA. That's how we've survived so many years. We want to give them the tools. So you'd be a fool not to ask somebody who's doing financially well, hey man, you know, how do you do? But the problem is with our society is that we're in a society where we want instant gratification, right? So nobody wants to hear, oh, you know, little by little, you know, you build it little by. Nobody wants to hear that. Okay, yeah, cool. But how do I become a millionaire by next year? Yeah. So instead of listening to somebody who's got years of experience in investments, they'd rather listen to some 17-year-old on TikTok, with a wad of, you know, $10,000 saying, oh, this is what you know how easy it is to make $10,000 if you want. If you don't know how easy it is to make $10,000, I don't care if you're 17. Let your mom be sick in the hospital, and the only way she survives is if you come up with $10,000. That 17-year-old will come up with $10,000 tomorrow, next week, somehow, some way. But we don't have that drive, so we want things, but we don't really want them. Meaning, everybody wants a Ferrari, right? If I ask you if you want a Ferrari, you want a Ferrari, we would all say, yeah, I want a Ferrari. But in reality, do I want a Ferrari? No. How do I know that? Because I could be driving a Ferrari right now, right? Yeah. In reality, I could. I don't want it that bad. We say we want things, but we don't. So the most beautiful part is the journey, right? And again, education. You know, if I could recommend, if you know, financially speaking, you know, if you're in a really bad spot where you're like, you know, trying to catch up, you have bills and living paycheck to paycheck, then, you know, Dave Ramsey is probably a good place, because he's like a, you know, like an ambulance. Like, you're in distress, he's gonna come and he's gonna give you steps to get out of that, you know. But you're not gonna grow from that, you know. Then the next step, you know, I mean, even old school's book, you know, The Richest Man in Babylon, teaches to pay yourself first.
Books.
Oh, it's great. And
but I do free financial evaluations with people too. So if there's anybody who ever wants to sit down, I do that. Me and my daughter team, we work with people to try and see from like step to step to get them to where they want to go.
But most people probably come to you and say, hey, you're really good at this, do it for me. It never works that way. All she can do is give you some pointers on, you know, but you have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm here to say it's not that hard. Like once you're on the other side, it's not that hard. It does take time, you know.